Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey, and it's Monday. I'm telling you, I don't know where my time has gone, but it seems like I can't catch up. But we'll try this week if I see I can do a little better. Too much traveling, not much time at home. So today we're going to play with embossing folders. You might not have even noticed this one in the mini catalog. It's on page 65. They have a couple samples that you can see, but they're just kind of ordinary to me. But because there's so many different ways that we can use this stunning folder to create some pretty cards. Or you could use it on a scrapbook page or, you know, other things. You can see that it's very detailed. It's one of those really thick embossing folders, so it will leave a nice big impression. I'm going to show you a couple cards, and then we're going to make one, or we're not going to make two. We're going to kind of just play around with them. So this one is super simple. I just used the white cardstock, and I burnished it with bubble bath. And then it's just a nice little sweet card. I added a couple of the punched bow leaves. It's got a little bit of Wink of Stella on it, but it's nice and simple. This one, I'm going to show you how I did this one. You also run this through the white embossing folder as white, and then you use your daubers to color the background. Isn't that pretty? How it just brings the pattern out on your card. And then, oh, this one, oops, I'm sorry, it's in a folder. This is one of my favorites, so we're going to do this one. And I'll show you how that works. Lots of choices. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how I did this. Hi, Karen and Ann and Joy. Thanks for joining me today. So I don't have a whole sheet. I've got the smaller sheet, but I can do this the same way here. That same layout. So for this, I'm going to use Granny Apple, Bubble Bath, and Balmy Blue. Now, of course, you could do any colors you wanted, but I don't know, kind of went with some pastels today. And so I'm just going to get, I should do that, ink up my dauber. And you see, this is already embossed. And you don't want to get too heavy. You just want to drag the ink across. And it will just highlight. Isn't that pretty? How that just picks up that ink. We'll do all the big flowers. I guess these kind of look almost like a water lily, or I don't know, they could be a rose, but no, they're not roses. I don't know what kind of rose flower this is. Oh, it could, no, it's not a dogwood either. I don't know. Or a magnolia. It could maybe be a magnolia, because it's got some pretty broad leaved petals. And I just love how the ink picks up the highlight on there. This would be, you could make a lot of these at one time. long as you just ran it through the embossing folder all at one time. All right, now I think this is, I don't suppose you have to do every single blossom, but we kind of want it balanced. Hi, Polly. Thanks for joining us. Now we'll switch to Balmy Blue. We were talking at lunch about how you guys have colder weather than we do. It's just crazy, isn't it, Joy? We had snow, and then we had 60 degrees, and then it's just, then Tennessee is snowed in, and I just don't understand it. So now we're going to do these little daisy looking things in the Balmy Blue. Just makes it pop. Now, of course, some of it's going to get around on the background, but it doesn't bother me because it still kind of stays on the top and gives it that oomph. A little highlight. I think that's one of those. And now we can do our leaves with Granny Apple Green. Yeah, we walked a lot yesterday at the park, and because it was so nice and pretty out, we got in a couple miles. And after this, we're going to go do it again. So we'll get some leaves. Put a little bit there. Isn't that pretty? That will just be a nice focal point on another card. And that doesn't, it's not hard, it's not difficult, it's, you can splatter a little wink of Stella on there, and you have a beautiful card. So I think I'll do something very similar here with this one. Might put it on a Balmy Blue background. So we'll see. So you see how to do that. Now I'm going to show you how to do the other one. We're going to take our folder. You know, they actually, we call it two sides. I mean, this would be the debossed side, and this is the embossed side. So if you think about where the word Stampin' Up is on there, that's the embossed side. And this is Starry Sky paper and Starry Sky ink. I will tell you, I tried it with Night of Navy. I didn't like it. It didn't have that pop that this Starry Sky has. Hi, Rosalind. It's good to see you're here. So this time, we're going to ink up our embossing folder. And we're just going to drag the ink there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want your cardstock to get enough ink on it. And I'm not pushing real heavy here. And let's see, do we have enough? Yeah, I think we've got enough there. Now you will get ink all over your fingers here, but it's okay. Now we're going to run this through the cut and emboss machine. You're going to just use your platform and your gray plate. Now you got a nice inky folder. You just run this under the faucet, rinse it off and let it dry. Make sure you get it all off, because then if you want to emboss on white paper, then you don't want any blue or whatever color you're using to show up. So now this is embossed, and that darkness only, the ink only got on the background part, and then a little bit on the embossed flowers. Now this is pretty in its own way, but we're going to make it even prettier by taking our Whisper White craft ink. Yes, inky fingers mean you're having fun. And we're going to just drag this over our flowers. And we only want it to get where the flower is embossed. So you don't want to get real heavy. And I see how pretty that it brings out the flower there. And then we'll just, this makes such an easy wow card. Now it is picking up some of the ink there, so I will, you know, dab that off with a paper towel if I need to. I think that's so pretty. Look how that white ink just sticks on there so nicely. Now, if you use this with white paper, white cardstock, just use your regular cardstock. If you use thick for this, it will tend to break down the fibers. So I don't like to use the thick cardstock for a real 3D embossed look. That's just a hint for you. And I think while we're here, we can put a little Wink of Stella on here. We'll just splatter it. Give it a little sparkle. I know you really can't see that on the camera. I say that every time. But I can see it, and whoever gets this card will see it. Okay, now let's see. We've got some pieces. I've got some silver. This is the holographic paper from the annual catalog that goes with the Outer Space set. It's just because I don't have any of the regular silver paper. But it's just going to be a border. Yeah, Anne, you're going to have to try this. I tried it with yellow, and it looked very pretty. Like I said, it did not look pretty with Night of Navy. It just needed that stronger brightness like the Starry Sky. But I used Daffodil Delight, and then I inked it with Lemon Lolly, and I thought it came out very pretty. But I was thinking earlier that how it might look pretty with one of the brownish colors, like Pecan Pie, and might give it a more masculine look. I don't know. Oh, but I can tell you, it would look stunning with Coastal Cabana. So, I would definitely try that. And I'm using tear and tape here because it will stick better to the foil. Now, of course, we didn't have to have a silver border, but I wanted one. I could have used a different color. Wonder, we'll just have to try lots of different colors here. when we have time. Now this is tricky because you can't move it once you get it down there. That's not too bad, is it? It's a miracle. And now we can put this on with Tombow on our thick basic white card base. Like, we're going to have 2 cards made in 20 minutes. Of course, all the pieces were cut. That gives you a little advantage, doesn't it? Isn't that pretty? Any sentiment you want, any embellishments that you want. I just did this so happy to celebrate you. And this starry sky, I don't know about that. We could use the silver. Yeah, we'll use the silver. On this one, I wrapped it around. But this one, I thought I'd just put it behind here. That kind of messy bow look that we do. But sometimes I figure it out and sometimes not. See if we can't make that work today. Some people just have the knack for this more than others. And we need some dimensionals. Let's see if that's gonna, yeah, that's gonna look pretty. I don't know. I realized today I've let some of my embellishments get low. So I have an order started to refill some of my bling. This will make a nice, this could be a wedding, it could be a birthday. And these are iridescent pearls. I think we can put a couple of those on there. Wonder if they have 3 sizes and I've used them up. I'm not real sure. This is one I have on my order. That wasn't that quick and really effective. So what do you think about this fancy inked up embossing folder? It's called Layering Florals. It's going to be great for birthdays, sympathy. I could see doing it with very vanilla and making it be a very simple, elegant sympathy card. Lots of ideas that you can do with it. So this is using the craft ink. This is using daubers to add the color. And this one is where I instead of craft ink, I did bubble bath. So you have all those different looks with the same embossing folder. So share your ideas with me. I would love to see what you thought you could do with this embossing folder, because maybe it'll give me some inspiration. And Anne, I'm going to be looking for yours because you said you were going to do it. So I want you to do that for me. Thanks for joining me today. This was short and sweet and my kind of Facebook Live. I'll see you next time. Bye.